Well, it was anything but a good week for President Biden.
The polls are pretty consistent. Joe Biden is a failure.
The pullout of Afghanistan, President Biden's exit as an unmitigated disaster.
That disastrous evacuation resulted in Americans left behind.
Joe Biden, you're fired. Get out of here.
Bidenomics has become a negative word, especially among Democrats, because it's not working.
70% of Americans say the economy is worse now.
That's Bidenomics.
You're fired.
The crisis at the border unrelenting.
Record numbers of migrants crossing over this week.
151 people on the FBI's terror watch list.
Would you employ Joe Biden for anything? No.
Get that son of a bitch off the field right now. Out. He's fired.
He's fired. Migrant crime is taking over America. From his very first day, Joe Biden allowed an invasion of our country, resettling dangerous illegal aliens from all over the world into American communities to prey on our people. The latest victim of Joe Biden's premeditated border invasion is Laken Riley. Joe Biden refuses to even say her name, but she will never be forgotten, not by great Americans. Last week, Laken went out for her morning jog and never came back home. A Biden migrant has been charged with brutally attacking her, beating her, kidnapping her, and murdering her on the campus of the University of Georgia. This monster should never have been allowed in our country. He was released at Crooked Joe's orders and set loose into our country. The radical left Democrats then released him onto the public yet a second time after he was arrested in New York for injuring a child. How many more innocent victims must be harmed, and how much more innocent blood must be spilled until we stop this invasion, this horrible, horrible invasion, and remove these illegal alien criminals from our country? As president, I will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in American history to remove Joe Biden's illegals and murderers, because that's what many of them are. They're from mental institutions, and they're from prisons from all over the world, from Africa, from Asia, from South America, from the Middle East, all over the world. Many of them come from prisons and mental institutions. It's very simple. If they don't go back to their countries, we will never get back our country. Thank you very much. We're so sorry to be talking about this to the parents. They're great people. Laken Riley will be very, very sorely missed. This should never, ever happen again. Our country is being overrun by criminals, by murderers, by drug addicts. They're all coming in through Joe Biden's horrible open border. There's never been a border like this anywhere in the world at any time. He is a disaster as a president. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand how bad it is. It's so bad, the whole world is talking about it. There's never been a case like this. Thank you.
It's Joe Biden's big night, but his 2024 opponent is ready to steal the show. Donald Trump announcing that he will be doing a real-time fact check on the president, saying, quote, "I am pleased to inform you that we will be doing a live play-by-play of crooked Joe Biden's State of the Union address." Trump is also giving this preview of what you can expect tonight.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record and lying like crazy to try and escape accountability for the horrific devastation he and his party have created. It's time to tell crooked Joe Biden, you're fired.
Donald Trump continues to rattle the Biden campaign. According to a new report, Joe's advisors hope the State of the Union speech can cure Americans of what they call Trump amnesia. All right, Dana, I'll go to you first. Okay. I mean, how do you feel about the former president doing a play-by-play tonight?
So I have mixed feelings. On the one hand, I love that they came up with something fresh and different and a way to make sure that the media is going to have to cover his point of view, but also he's doing it in a way that utilizes the method where people can get direct information right from him. A lot of people will be doing live fact checks tonight. So I think that it's creative. I also think that in some ways he could have waited and done a response as well, right? Like let Katie Britt from Alabama do the Republican response. She's a beautiful, fresh face. She's going to do a great job tonight. But then maybe President Trump could say, I know that Joe's in bed already, but I'm here to give you a speech at 11:15 at night. The other reason I'm just of mixed emotions is, you know, the phrase from Napoleon that when your enemy is in the process of destroying himself, let him do it. And by inserting himself into the story tonight rather than just letting the chips fall where they may for an evening, I don't know if I just, it's a risk, it's a gamble. That's why I'm of two minds, but I don't have to make any decisions. I just get to talk about it.
All right, Greg, the New York Times says that many of us are suffering from Trump amnesia. Are you suffering from that?
No, I will never forget the cheaper prices, the fact that there weren't any wars. I would like to forget the media derangement. How can we forget that, though? Dana almost convinced me that it might not be a good idea, but I'm going to go ahead and say it is a good idea, even though she might have convinced me otherwise. Trump is going to correct Biden because no one else will, right? Since 2021, all of these heroic fact checkers went on hiatus, right? Because they declared victory over Big Orange, and there was no way they were going to fact check their guy, so they all went away. So now you're going to see scores of fact checkers fact checking Trump as he's fact-checking Biden, and it's going to be hilarious. All these lowly bloggers out there finally flexing their muscles of accuracy, unaware of their own absence for the past 3 years. Again, Trump is kind of doing what the mainstream media won't do. He's puncturing the veil, you know, telling on the media who won't be telling you the truth. And I think it's kind of like Mystery Science Theater for presidents. You know, the other guy is actually watching you and you know, tweeting or what is it called, truthing?
Sure.
Thanks, Jesse, for that backup.
Truthing.
You weren't even listening to me. Anyway.
What?
Yep. That's it for me.
All right, I'll go to you, Harold. Trump yesterday pushed Biden to debate him. If you were on Biden's campaign team, would you tell him to debate and do it immediately?
I would. I think Jesse and you, Judge, you missed me being in the middle of you guys there. You missed both of us being there.
We do.
The couple things. I think that Dana's largely right. I don't know if I would employ this strategy if I were former President Trump. But I got to tell you, what it goes to show is that this campaign is fully started. We're going to have this kind of back and forth between these guys for a long, long time. And if I were a Republican in that chamber tonight, a member of Congress or the member of the Senate, I would wish that the president, I'd probably agree with Dana on this, I'd wish he would not do it because Katie Britt, I think, has a real opportunity to be a breath of fresh air. I think one of the key issues that Republicans have to be mindful of in this national race, and that, you don't need me to tell you this or tell our viewers this, is how women's health and reproductive rights are going to be perceived. And my understanding, based on what little intelligence I have, is that Senator Britt is going to talk a little bit about that and give not only a fresh face, but a smart face and a new voice to that. So I'd probably wait if I were him. And in that room, in that chamber, I'd probably wish the president wouldn't distract that with the back and forth on Truth Social.
All right, Jesse. Last year, Biden in the State of the Union spent something like 79 seconds on the issue of immigration in a speech that was an hour and 13 minutes. What do you think is going to happen this time?
He's going to blame Republicans for his own open border. And the Democrats are going to clap and the Republicans are going to roll their eyes and everybody watching at home knows the truth. I want you guys to take a test. If you didn't watch any news during the 4 years of Trump, didn't watch any news of the 4 years of Joe Biden, which 4 years was more chaotic in your life? And under Biden, you have crime, you have migration, you have high prices, you have baby formula problems, supply chain problems. He kept schools closed for like 2 years. What was so chaotic under Donald Trump? There was peace and prosperity. The only chaos was in the brains of the left.
Right.
They were creating the chaos with these ridiculous Russia investigations. We didn't fall for it. They were hysterical about it. So what was happening during Donald Trump? He was tweeting when reporters were asleep. So what? He fired a few people. So what? Melania wore a coat with a message on it. So what? That doesn't affect anyone's life. Your lives have been thrown into chaos the last 4 years because of Biden's policies. That's what people need to remember.
Okay.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.
New York Attorney General Letitia James getting booed today in New York City. Her lawsuit led to former President Trump's fine of more than well over $350 million at this point in the civil fraud trial. He is appealing, and he says he did nothing wrong. Watch what happened when James spoke at the fire department promotion ceremony today at a church in Brooklyn.
Oh, come on, we're in a house of God. First, simmer down. I want to thank Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
Oh, you know who's going to love that? FDNY Chief of Department John Hodgins telling Fox, quote, today's ceremony was about one thing, the accomplishment of the members being promoted. The members whose behavior, distracted from that celebration were an embarrassment and not befitting of the world's best fire department. And indeed, they are. And we congratulate all of those who got promoted today. And we thank them for the hard work they do every day in New York City.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.